Welcome to our Halloween special. What happened at the Lizzie Borden house, and is there a real Michael Myers? This is The Loaded Mic, and I'm Dan Was. If all you know about Lizzie Borden is the well-known nursery rhyme, be prepared for a Borden bombardment should you visit the historic Lizzie Borden house, the 1892 site of two gruesome murders, which is now a bed and breakfast in Fall River, Massachusetts. Now, the poem presupposes that Lizzie, an unmarried 32-year-old Sunday school teacher, was the culprit. But study the many twists and turns of this excitingly complicated case, and you may well end up feeling otherwise, even though, by her own admission, Lizzie was on the premises during both murders. She claimed to have been ironing handkerchiefs when her stepmother was slaughtered and out in the barn looking for fishing gear when her father returned from his morning errands and lay down for a nap, not knowing his wife lay dead upstairs. Now, we're going to talk about this and many other things with He's So Smart, He's Scary, John Chiara. Ooh. And he was the kid who stole your Halloween candy, Anthony Diso. All right, I'm going to catch you up on the story of Lizzie Borden for those who may not know the details, and then some interesting information about the murder house in recent years. But first, let me mention one of our sponsors, Cali Key. Now, this device, Cali Key, removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon. Did you know that when so-called assault weapon ban lists are created, they exclude manually operated bolt-action firearms? Now, just by dropping the Cali Key into your direct impingement AR in place of your semi-automatic BCG, you'll have a bolt-action rifle that falls outside the definition of assault weapon. You don't have to do anything else. So give the Cali Key a look, because with it, you could retain all your rifle's features, avoid registration complications, revive your black rifle sales if you're an FFL, regain the ability to do private party transfers, legally transport across hostile jurisdictions, hunt with your AR in areas like Pennsylvania, enhanced long-range precision, and quieter suppressed shooting. Now, Cali Key has state-specific expert attorney opinions on its website and supports grassroots Second Amendment organizations with its sales. Cali Key's mission is to empower customers and claw back our civil liberties. So go to calikey.com and use the discount code LOADED. All right. Are you guys ready? It's going to be a spooky show today.
Ready.
So, I got an article here on Lizzie Borden. I was researching this, and I thought it was pretty cool. Do you guys know the story of Lizzie Borden? Yeah. Okay. Do you know all the details?
Oh, you're going to tell us, though.
Okay. All right.
You're a public servant, Dan.
I am a public servant today. I'm a Halloween public servant. Okay, so here's a story in the Smithsonian that I thought was really interesting. Now, Lizzie Borden murder case is one of the most famous in American criminal history. New England's major crime of the Gilded Age. Its barbarity captivated the national press, and suspected killer was immortalized by an eerie rhyme passed down through generations. Do you remember the rhyme? Do you remember the
rhyme it, Dan?
Do you remember it? You guys. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. What happened? Hey, did we lose something? I think we lost the light. Hey, Danny, can you come out here in the main studio? I don't know what's going on out here.
Gremlins.
Here he is. Oh, thanks.
Hey, the
all right, good. We got it. All right. Sorry about that.
Is that part of the plan?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Smells like ham in here.
While the public largely believes that Borden committed the murders, the rhyme is not quite correct. The female victim was Borden's stepmother, and the weapon wasn't an axe, but rather a hatchet, a smaller, lighter tool. Also, the killer struck the victims around half as many times as stated in the rhyme. It was only 19 blows and on Abby Borden, and 10 or 11 on the face of Lizzie Borden's 69-year-old father. So the story goes on that In the early hours of August 4th, after the discovery of the bodies, the public only knew that the assassin had struck the victims in broad daylight at their home on a busy street, 1 block from the town's business district. Do we have a picture of the house? I think we have some photos here, too. We might have a picture of the house. Oh, that's the bedroom where the mother was killed.
See any blood?
No, there's the house. That was Lizzie Borden's house. Now, police initially considered the killings a work of a man, probably a foreigner. Within a few hours of the murder, they arrested a suspect. He turned out to be innocent. He was Portuguese immigrant. Borden had absorbed elements of the city's rampant nativism. On the day of the murder, she claimed that she'd come into the house from the barn and discovered her father's body. She yelled for the Borden's 26-year-old Irish servant who was resting in her third-floor room. Now, she told Sullivan she needed a doctor and sent the servants across the street to the family physician's home. Well, he was not at home, and Borden then told Sullivan to get a friend down the street. Yet Borden never sent the servant to the Irish immigrant doctor who lived right next door. He had an impressive educational background and served as Fall River City's physician. Nor did Borden seek the help of the French-Canadian doctor who lived diagonally behind the Bordens. Only a Yankee doctor would do. So I don't know. What's going on there?
The neighborhood she lived in there. Three doctors within like half a block.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
And but it goes on, and there was an interrogation. Borden's answers to different police officers were different, and her inability to summon a single tear. This was interesting, too. She didn't cry during any of this stuff, and her parents were just brutally murdered. An officer discovered that Borden had tried to purchase deadly prussic acid from a nearby drugstore just days before the murder. What's interesting about this, though, is this house is now like a bed and breakfast. So people vacation there.
Cool.
So maybe we can get. Yeah, there it is. There's a
mattress.
picture of the house.
I hope they got a new mattress.
Yeah.
Is that vinyl siding I see?
It looks like they painted it.
Where's that bedroom picture again? Yeah, there it is. Now, the upstairs bedrooms of the now bed and breakfast are rented out to overnight guests, including Lizzie's room and the infamous guest room where Mrs. Borden was making up the bed when someone entered carrying a hatchet. And, well, you know what happened after that. Then there weren't 40 or 41 whacks, only 19 for the mother, or stepmother, as Lizzie would have been quick to remind you, and a mere 10 for the father. But in both cases, portions of the victims' skulls were caved in, and the killer kept striking well past the point where the deed was done. Now, here's a picture of the father, and you may have seen this famous black and white photo before.
He looks relaxed.
He's chilled right now. Yeah, he's definitely chilled. And the stepmother, lying on the floor face down between a bed and the headboard on the dresser. That's after she got,
She's looking for the kid under the bed.
she's looking. Does look like she's looking for something.
Cat.
She lost her lost a diamond earring.
Jeez. Overnight guests have reported similar activity in the room, though. This is the interesting part. So, once occupied by Bridget, the maid.
French maid sounds like Bridget.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, she could have been. There was all sorts of people living in that
I
neighborhood.
know. Portuguese? What's up with that? Are they illegal? We need to investigate this.
I know. This is crazy stuff.
Who's president?
Well, so here's where it gets a little weird. And overnight guests have reported similar activity in the attic room, once occupied by Bridget, the maid. A guide, Louise Holt, said, she was a guide for one of these tours, I guess. She said she's more than once arrived for work in the morning to find the prior night's occupants of that room sleeping in their cars, unable to cope with what was going on inside. She told us how the house's former owner once spent a night in Bridget's room to find a rocking chair that had been across the room when she fell asleep sitting beside her bed when she awoke. Plus, it was rocking. Of course, there's no guarantee such eerie occurrences will occur on any given night. Spirits don't scare on command, but there's always that potential that they'll pay a visit. So as the story goes, on August 4th, 1892, Andrew and his wife, Abby Borden, were found brutally murdered in their Fall River, Massachusetts home. And though murder wasn't uncommon in the late 1800s, the fact that they were bludgeoned to death with an axe and the main suspect was their 32-year-old daughter, Lizzie Borden, that certainly was, unusual. So the crime and the trial that followed made headlines around the world. Lizzie was ultimately acquitted of murder, but she remains forever linked to the heinous killings, as does the home where the crime was committed. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So listen to this more current story. So now we have that. I think we got a photo of Lizzie and her and the house. Now, it's a bed and breakfast, right? And a museum. The Borden home attracts history buffs and thrill seekers who come to see for themselves if rumors that the house is haunted are indeed true. Suzanne St. John, a realtor and tour guide at the Lizzie Borden house, said that when she started working there, it was more of the history. She didn't really care about all the paranormal stuff. However, that all changed after St. John says she experienced a few unusual happenings of her own. What's going on?
What the heck, Dan?
I don't know.
Pay the light bill.
All right. Anyway, I'm just going to keep going. Guests tell us that they hear laughing and playing in the middle of the night. Okay. That's kind of weird. Things get moved around, she says. And St. John has experienced a few unusual things herself, saying that once she discovered toys scattered across a room that no one had been in. St. John also talks about a picture that fell over and slid 2 feet across the floor without any plausible explanation.
Ooh, boo.
As well as a closet door that once opened on its own. And on the eve of the anniversary of Andrew and Abby's murder, St. John says that she and 2 other tour guides at the house felt a sudden sharp piercing pain in their left eyes, the same exact location of Andrew Borden's fatal injuries. But here's perhaps the most unsettling, however, is the story St. John tells of a tour guide at the Lizzie Borden house who asked her group to silence their cell phones before beginning the tour. Moments later, a guest's cell phone rang. And she looked up and she said, "It's my mom." And the tour guide asked if she wanted to leave and take the call. And the woman replied, "She died 2 years ago."
Whoa.
Boo.
So, I don't know. I wanted to see what you guys thought. The whole Lizzie Borden story. Go ahead. I want to hear your comments.
2 people died. Yeah, that's, I don't know. How do you know?
I don't know.
No video cameras in the house at that point, right? So it's kind of tough. You don't have any, no Ring doorbells or anything.
Where did Lizzie go after all this?
I don't know, man. I don't know. When did she die? Does anybody know when she died?
Oh, I'm wondering where, like after the acquittal, what did she do?
Maybe she just did she stay in the house? I don't know if she stayed in the house or not.
Sold real estate.
Maybe she sold real estate herself. Pretty crazy. I don't know. Just a crazy story. And, just one of those things, I'm not sure what to think about it. I do know one thing, though. LifeWave is a non-transdermal patch that allows your body to produce its own natural pharmacy through light energy. Now, the X30 patch tells your body to emit heat in the form of light, which reflects back into your body, elevating a certain copper peptide. Now, this peptide activates your stem cells, which are the only type that can move throughout your body to heal inflammation. LifeWave offers an affordable membership and has a history of wellness that spans 20 years. It's been around since 2004 to help organizations like SEAL Team 6 and the Olympic swim team stay awake and alert. Today, these non-addictive patches are used by thousands of athletes and military professionals. LifeWave is available in over 80 countries, giving millions the opportunity of maximum wellness. For more information on and testimonials, patents, and studies, go to justpatch.biz. All right.
Do we get our test patches? Where's our samples?
We'll get you some.
All right.
Yeah, so you can be healthy.
I need some stem cells.
Are you feeling healthy? Oh, you need stem cells?
Big time.
For what? What's going on?
Never know. It might come up.
Are you stem cell
Deprived.
lacking?
Absolutely. I can feel it. Maybe it's the holiday. So silly.
So silly. So what else is going on? What else is going on in the news?
Oh, we're going to talk about news.
We can talk about news, too.
We're going to talk about Halloween.
No, we don't have to talk about just Halloween stuff. I do have a story, a Michael Myers story I want to get to. But go ahead.
What's going on out there?
What's going on?
Oh, then there
Big
was
election coming
There was
up.
another assassination attempt.
Yeah.
I heard something about that, but I wasn't
They
sure.
found a guy with
Was
a bunch
it
of
credible?
yeah.
We don't know. He's a Trump supporter, so we don't know. But he's got multiple identities, things going on, and there's a lot of squirrely questions. We listened to a bunch Crowder on the way up this morning.
Fake IDs.
And he was talking
and
about
fake
different things.
press passes.
He knows the family though.
Multiple
supposedly. He
passports and
knows-
stuff. Did I hear? Did I see multiple passports?
Yeah.
Or
He knows Trump's kids though. He knows the family supposedly. So that's
Oh,
well, he said. Yeah, we'll have to find out about that. There's going to be a lot of questions.
it's
about
kinda
that.
weird.
Who knows?
Huh? Yeah, I heard something about it. I don't know.
And Kamala, she's just a joy to listen to whenever she's on TV.
Well, her voice is so soothing.
Did you see the new Barbie doll?
No.
The Kamala doll? No. It has like 5 different accents. Push a button. It has ghetto, country,
Ghetto, Mexican,
black, whatever. She's a jack of all trades.
They could have a whole series of. They could have an AOC Barbie. They could
Oh,
have a Hillary
geez.
Barbie.
A Hillary.
Imagine Hillary Barbie. Big
Well, it'd
ankles
be Hillary
and stuff.
Barbary. Yeah, she'd be like the number one
Pantsuits.
hitman. Hillary.
That's pretty cute.
She's got more.
What's going on here? I'm seeing things out of the corner of my eye.
I don't know what's going on. All right, so if you want, we can. I don't know how much time we have in this before break, but let me get to this one Michael Myers story. So you're gonna like this one. According to Mystic Investigations, the iconic Halloween movies are based on a real person. Did you know this? I bet you guys didn't even know this.
that.
His name was Stanley Stiers, and he was the victim of abusive alcoholic parents when he went on a killing spree in 1923. The director, John Carpenter, based Myers' character on a different serial killer, Ed Kemper, who killed his first victims at age 15. But even that website, what's going on in here? Danny, we're having some electrical issues here.
Storms.
But even that website has no proof that Carpenter used Kemper as the basis for Myers. So who inspired Michael Myers' character? Screen Rant claims that Carpenter once visited a mental institution as part of his college class and indeed encountered a particularly intriguing resident. There was this kid, this is a quote, there was this kid, he must have been 12 or 13, Carpenter explained in a video about the Halloween films per MSN. And he literally had this look that Carpenter transferred to Myers. Remember the little kid's look? That kind of creepy, but what about Michael Myers' spooky mask? Well, according to Star Trek, the mask Halloween lovers know so well is actually a Captain Kirk mask. Actor William Shatner, who played Kirk, once got even by wearing the Michael Myers mask for Halloween. So I bet you didn't know that stuff. See, I'm giving you all sorts of new information. Do you watch
I'm feeling
Star Trek?
fulfilled. Did I? Every one a dozen times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Do you remember the mask?
No.
Really? Okay.
As the resident Halloween nerd, everybody knows that the Captain Kirk mask is the They're just spray painted white and then dyed brown.
Well, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Cool.
See, I don't know this stuff. So Danny Wass Jr., he's like the movie buff, and he's our producer.
That's my bust in the background
Where is it? Oh,
behind
that's
you
right.
in your head.
That's right. What is going on in the studio today? Anyway, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's just a weird day.
It's John's fault.
I think, yeah.
Take full
I blame John.
responsibility. I'm good.
It's that shirt.
Maybe we should take a break and see if we can figure out some. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
The Cali Key removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon. It lets you keep your rifle with all its features, avoid registration hassles, and transport in hostile jurisdictions. The Cali Key also lets you hunt in jurisdictions like Pennsylvania and enhances long-range precision shooting. Cali Key's expert legal opinions empower informed decisions, and sales help grassroots Second Amendment organizations. Cali Key is your tool to keep and equip your AR, empower yourself, and defend your civil rights.
Our founding fathers saw them coming over 200 years away. That's why they wrote the Second Amendment. Join us in the fight to preserve your gun rights and stop unconstitutional gun control. Gun Owners of America is the country's only no-compromise gun rights organization. Not only do we inform and educate, but we bring the fight to court and win. Your God-given right to keep and bear arms is our top priority. Become a member today and help us take back America. Join us at gunowners.org. All right, so keeping within the Halloween theme, Anthony wanted to tell us about a story. This is about the new movie, Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
I guess, the low T males in the world are running out of there vomiting and afraid and fainting. Like, what? It's not real.
Is it that scary?
It's bad. The movies are bad. I'm going to watch all three of them, but yeah.
I got a piece on it.
Super gore.
It says that it's known for its gory ultra violence.
Yeah, one scene they chop a girl in half with a chainsaw. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen any other one other than that one, but yeah, that was like my favorite scene in the first one.
Yeah.
So that's in the first one. We don't know what's in the second one.
Saws her like in half, and it's pretty bad.
Right down the middle.
Right down the center.
Right down the middle.
Split that BI in half. Yeah, that'll teach you how to talk.
God.
Yeah, but the third one's pretty bad too. All of them are really bad, but yeah,
Well, it says several audience members at the UK premiere.
how can you not handle a movie though? It's like
It says they walked out, and one of them vomited, according to the horror movies distributor.
that's sad.
Wow.
I don't know.
I mean, if you can't deal with blood, why would you go see that movie, right?
You think you know what you're walking into,
And they
right?
tell you it's bad. I mean, they warn you. Now it has a warning label on it.
It has a warning.
In the U.S., yeah, it warns you that it's super gore.
But isn't it just R? Isn't R enough? The rating, the R rating?
I don't know. That might be a little more further than our some of them. They're
my
pretty
gosh.
bad. I gotta go see it though. I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna watch all three.
It sounds pretty gruesome.
'Cause it doesn't-
I see some.
that stuff doesn't bother me.
Danny, what are some of the more gruesome ones that you've seen? Now we should tell you, Danny is the host of Seen It Before, which is a movie review show. So everybody who hasn't seen It Before yet, check it out. Danny's also our producer.
Hi.
There he
And the fruit of your loins.
Well, that's really
Well, you
gross,
didn't-
John. You didn't have to say that.
Okay.
Fruit.
Wait, I don't know. I guess like if you're talking about just pure gore, all the Saw movies are pretty up there.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk more like implied horror, I'd say Hereditary is pretty scary. Because there's a lot of beheadings in that one, but it's more like the way that they do it.
Like, what do you mean the way? How do they do it?
Just like I don't know the way that it's like edited or performed or directed. It's just like it's just more gruesome.
I used to, what the ones that scared me the most were the simple ones, like Ring, the Ring.
Yeah,
and,
which comes out of the TV.
Even Blair Witch, but Blair Witch was so low.
Blair Witch didn't have anything.
Nothing.
Yeah,
The
it's all
only
implied.
thing at the end, there was something. There was like just a small scene in the basement or something, right?
Yeah, they're all in the corner, and it's not really explained.
But it was still scary because it was all the you know, you didn't know it was going to happen.
I know. Suspense.
Oh, what's the one where they keep getting dragged? It's all black and white bedroom camera footage where they're getting dragged out of the beds and stuff.
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. That was pretty weird, pretty freaky. But I don't know. I think the scarier ones are not necessarily the gory ones, but the ones that are more psychological. Right. No?
You should watch Hereditary then, because there's like this this girl. She's like out. She's having like an allergic reaction. She puts her head outside of the window in a car, and then
oh, is that when she hits the telephone
hits
pole?
the telephone
Oh
pole.
God.
Nice.
And then they show a picture of, or like a shot of her head in the road, covered in ants.
Oh God. That's awful. Who's coming up with this stuff?
Ari Aster.
Oh man. Anyway, so this movie, what? So I guess they can't handle it.
No,
What are you gonna do?
too much.
Can't handle it.
I blame the Democrats.
It says that because they
Wimpify the low
wimpified him.
They shouldn't ask for
Pussified
their
him.
money back, right?
Yeah, it says the film contains extreme violence and excessive gore. The warning read, if you're feeling unwell, please find a member of staff. Staff trained in first aid are on site. Oh, my
You
God.
little wussy.
What a bunch of wimps.
It's scary.
After surviving Art the Clown's Halloween massacre, Sienna and her brother are struggling to rebuild their shattered lives as the holiday season approaches. They try to embrace the Christmas spirit and leave the horrors of the past behind. But just when they think they're safe, Art the Clown returns, determined to turn their holiday cheer into a new nightmare.
His name is Art.
Arthur the Clown.
Who's after you? Art.
Well, sounds cool. I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it whenever it's available.
John, you should take your date
To where?
to the movie.
Oh, I don't want to go.
You'll probably.
He's too scared.
I don't like scary movies.
We'll run out.
Really?
Don't appeal to me whatsoever. We just talked about that the other night. I don't like.
You're no fun.
I just don't like being scared for no
Vanilla.
reason unless it's really, it's all not pleasant. But hey,
Well, we do have a clip here I want to get to. And speaking of wimpy people, this is from the Daily Wire. The bed is made. CNN pundit says men believe Dems care more about dudes who want to become women.
Absolutely.
So let's watch this clip and then we can talk about it.
Faves are down. They're struggling with, the front page of the New York Times this morning, Democrats struggling with African-American voters, particularly African-American men. This gender gap issue is real. It's a real problem, and you see the Democrats reacting to it. And I think what they are now finally in October, the election, coming to realize is that a lot of men think Democrats care more about dudes who want to become women than dudes who just want to be dudes. And no hunting, cosplay,
didn't like
or
that.
cringy videos is going to change it. The bed is made. Working class men, whether you're black, Hispanic, or white, persistently, consistently do not believe the Democratic Party, and specifically Kamala Harris, are going to do a thing for them. They've been told that they're the problem, and I suspect they're going to rise up on Election Day and tell the elites who told them that you're wrong.
So what do you think?
I think he's right.
He's right.
How long can we sit along and be told we're the bad guys? What did we do? Now
And
we're the bad guys. Plus,
I don't believe the razor tight race crap either. Come on. I mean, if you believe that, I don't think that's I got a poopy flavored lollipop I want to sell you. Because
poopy flavor.
there's no way that moron is in a tight race unless people are really that stupid. There's no way.
Yeah,
and then you got Obama out over the weekend telling black people that if they don't vote for Kamala, then they're like, what? And it's like, what are you doing, John?
What happened? Did you turn the light off?
John's electrifying.
Yeah, that's great. No, I know.
Yeah, Bob.
We need. I don't know what's going on. I
know what's going on.
But yeah, I mean, the black folks responded. Like, they're like, "What is?" I mean,
They ran out of people.
when he said, "If you don't vote for Harris because she's black, that's just ridiculous." What the hell are you talking about? Even now, the black are responding to it like, "Yo, we have dads. We don't need you. It's like you're hurting Harris by saying stupid crap like that. Number one, she's not black. I mean, she's not black.
And then they tried pinning on Trump, that whole thing.
Oh, of course.
He's like, I don't know, whatever she is, it doesn't matter. But one day she says she's Indian, and then the next day she says whatever suits her, you know?
Yeah.
So he was just pointing it out, but yet then they can take that, him pointing it out, her lying,
Yeah.
and then now he's the racist somehow.
She's just being pragmatic so she can get elected.
Isn't that, that's crazy. He let the cat out of the bag.
Exactly.
Bernie Sanders said that. Said exactly the truth.
And then you got
How do you not hear that and go, oh, really? Is that what's going on? Yeah.
Then you got Joe. He's undermining her any chance he can, even though he doesn't know who he is. He's calling her out on stuff.
Well, this guy, Scott Jennings, that we just saw in the video, he was noting that Harris had slipped in a number of the most recent polls. He said they're struggling. He said, I mean, the front page of New York Times this morning, Democrats struggling with African-American voters, particularly African-American men. He says the gender gap issue is real.
You keep talking down to them like they're stupid.
Yeah.
Remember what last... Remember when they said black people are too stupid to get IDs?
To get a license, yeah.
I mean, really?
So insulting. It's just
Had it?
But they,
Now,
a
just
lot
imagine if a Republican said that,
of... Oh, God.
right?
I know.
But I don't understand liberal thinking. They can literally get S on, like, you know what I'm talking about, and they would be like,
that lollipop
they'd
again.
be like, oh, here's your poopy back. I mean, it's how many times can you crap on someone before they say, oh my God, it's too much?
Yeah. But there's still a lot of black people who are still going to vote for her, and
Because they're stupid.
I guess
They're
so.
stupid.
Well, there's a lot of white people.
You're stupid.
What about all the white liberals who are still going to vote for her?
No, they're just
too.
morons anyway. It's a hatred thing. It has nothing
That's
to
all.
do
They're
with
voting against Trump.
They're
and that's
voting
all
against
it
Trump.
is for
They don't
her.
care about the country.
They stuck her in there.
That's what I always say to people. She wasn't elected. She was instilled. Joe was removed. Now, where's loudmouth Jill been? We haven't heard a word from Dr. Jill.
Why haven't we heard from her?
Yeah.
Got her locked away.
Yeah. They got her on lock and key because there ain't no way she's
Because she would start sabotaging
she would
Kamala.
Yeah.
She stuck up for him for 3.5 years.
They got her locked up somewhere. Or they told her, open your mouth and you'll end up like Epstein.
Yeah.
The tide will come in when Joe's sleeping on the beach.
Yeah.
Where's Joe? Where's Joe?
Hey,
in
is
that
that
little
Jill
tiny
over there?
chair. In that little tiny chair.
Hey, what's Jill doing on that raft over there? Yeah. Well, I haven't heard a peep.
Not a
From
peep.
Jill since Joe was removed from office.
Yep. That's
Not
true.
a peep.
That's right. Well, you want to know who's fighting for your gun rights? Gun Owners of America. Now, GOA is the No Compromise Gun Rights Group. I urge you to become a member at gunowners.org. What have they done? Well, GOA secured a preliminary injunction against the ATF pistol brace rule. GOA members submitted a record 85,000 plus comments opposing the ATF's universal registration check rule. They helped enact permitless carry in Nebraska and Florida. GOA secured victories in California, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Plus, they won 2 legal victories against the ATF's zero tolerance policy. And GOA fought to overturn Joe Biden's ban on funding hunter education, shooting sports, and archery in schools. So with the constant attacks on our Second Amendment, we often ask ourselves, well, what can I do about it? This is what you can do. Become a member at gunowners.org and help us save the Second Amendment. So I don't know. That's really interesting what you said about that. I'd never even thought about it, that we haven't seen Jill.
Not a peep.
And it's because she would come out and because she wants to be,
She would absolutely destroy Kamala Harris.
she wants nothing more than to continue being the first lady.
Which Joe wouldn't win anyway. But
Right.
Joe got ramrodded by the Democratic.
Of course.
And he, like I say, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on.
No,
she absolutely knows what's going on, but you ain't gonna hear from her.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why they let him do the debate, right? They put him over the hump.
Yeah.
Now we can get rid of him.
Yep. Now Jill's either locked up somewhere or she was threatened.
Yeah.
But then you got, Obama out here talking about just garbage coming out of his mouth, and you got Big Mike up there
Friggin' Mike.
telling you what you should do because you're poor.
With his wiener
That's a good
swinging.
one.
Wiener swinging.
Yeah. Wow. Big pineapple. The little,
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
I think John wanted to tell us a ghost story. Or would you want to? Oh, you were going to tell us about something.
It's not a ghost story.
Something Halloweenish. I know it's Halloween.
Find it now. I got so enthralled with the conversation here that I forgot totally what was going on.
I know it's Halloweenish. And
Weenie.
Well, this is something that we can probably more closely relate to because it's something that we've heard about within our lifetimes.
okay.
So I can't see here, so I have to scrunch my things down. Is that a razor blade in your Halloween apple? Remember the whole things?
That
about
was the scare or
don't-
needles.
Yeah.
Or
Don't
needles.
don't eat the candy. Don't eat anything until you get home and you can check it all and stuff. A whole big. It's kind of like along the same lines as report your parents if they're not recycling kind of thing. You know what I mean? You got to get everybody all locked in. Anyway, so apples have been bobbing around Halloween since the days of Celtic mythology, according to Business Insider. The game was initially a romantic party game wherein folks threw a marked apple in a tub of water. Remember bobbing for apples?
Yep. I remember catching a cold after I did that.
Yeah. And hope their
I
true
stuck my whole head in the bucket.
they put a marked apple in a tub of water and hoped that their true love would successfully grab it using only their teeth. Writer W.H. Davenport Adams added a twist in 1902. The apple skin was then peeled into a long strip, which shaped the initial of the said true love upon falling to the ground. Per Live About is another source. Apple bobbers in general are lucky to grab the apple at all. Have you ever tried to bob for apples?
I did.
It's not easy.
No,
right?
no. You got to push your head all the way in.
You got to have really buck teeth.
Well, you got to push the apple right down to the bottom of the bowl.
It's hard. You get wet.
So you get a
It's
grip.
a mess.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's usually called the Halloween. So,
Yeah.
so it's hard to bob the apple, especially if some maniac has skillfully slid a razor blade inside the fruit, of course. That'd be-
It's such a scary story when you think about it. Imagine
Think about doing it. Yeah.
Imagine biting into a razor blade.
No.
Like getting in the roof of your mouth.
A place where everything hurts more than any place else in your body, right? You're going to bleed like
That's
crazy.
why the story is so good because it's so you can imagine the. Go ahead. Sorry.
4 Pounds Flour claims that the old razor blade in the apple story stems from a 1960s rumor that 20 apples in New Jersey were found to contain razor blades. The story was a hoax, which scholars John Best and Gerald T. Haruki elaborated on in their paper. The razor blade in the apple, the social construction of urban legends. Besides, KTEN says, far more scary are the nasty germs you get from thrusting your face in water already filled with saliva and bacteria
Exactly.
of others. Like it's backwash.
All
right?
your
That's
friends.
Instead, the news review suggests try fishing for apples using chopsticks or a spoon. Hang individual apples from a clothesline for biting or stage an apple toss. Tunk.
Open
There
your
you
mouth.
go.
All right. Well, hey, good story. I mean,
Excitement for
you always
All
heard.
ages.
You always heard these stories, needles in the candy bars and all sorts of stuff. But
crazy.
crazy stuff.
Especially
Anthony,
when you steal candy from other kids.
this guy right here.
Yeah, yep. Give me your bag.
give me your bag.
Holding them up.
I don't know. I don't see as many kids trick or treating these days as back in like the 80s and 90s.
Who knows? I don't pay attention.
When we were
Lights
kids,
are off.
the neighborhoods were like Ferguson. I mean, it was just insanity.
Oh, yeah.
People lighting leaf piles on fire.
Absolutely. Fun.
It was actual insanity. Okay, so this story by Breitbart. I think we got time for one more. National Border Patrol Council strongly endorses Trump at Arizona rally. Now, the National Border Patrol Council issued a strong and emphatic endorsement of former President Donald Trump during an Arizona rally. I actually heard it. Speaking at the podium, Border Patrol Union President Paul Perez knocked Vice President Kamala Harris for her work as the border czar, while praising the former president for having always stood with the men and women who protect the border. He said, if we allow border czar Harris to win this election, every city, every community in this great country is going to go to hell. The untold millions of people, unvetted, who she has allowed into this country that are committing murders, rapes, robberies, burglaries, and every other crime will continue to put our country in peril, he said. Only one man can fix that. That is Donald J. Trump. He's always stood with the men and women who protect the border, who put their lives on the line for this country, a man who knows about putting his life on the line for what is right. I mean, if you get an endorsement like that from the Border Patrol people, I mean, that's what else could you ask for, right?
I don't know. Somebody, obviously other people are listening to other things or not listening. When I try to have conversations with people on social media about the border, it's all just, they don't want to go there. You know, they don't want to talk about where the people are, how much it's costing, who's paying for it. Will you let them come and stay at your house? All that kind of stuff that would be normal questions to ask if there's all these people around. So now Kamala's saying, oh, there's a housing shortage because of this. Well, you let 20 million extra people in, there's going to be a housing shortage. That's why there's a housing shortage, not because there's not enough houses for the people that actually live here. It's crazy. We should do something. Vote.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We should do something about that. Yeah.
Vote early.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the New York voting rules are for voting early.
26 it starts.
Oh, yeah?
Dover County.
Okay. But, yeah. So it's just the people who you were talking about, the people who don't want to talk about it, they're putting their head in the sand. They have to realize that they're supporting this insanity and this is dangerous, really. They have to understand they don't want to admit that they've been supporting the Democrats who've been doing this crap, and they just want it to kind of like pretend it doesn't exist, I guess.
Oh, they have the mentality that it'll never happen to me.
Oh, an actual attack or be the victim of.
That's what they think.
Well, what are the numbers? I think numbers are like 1.2 million violent attacks per year in America, and 333 million people in America. So you got like a 1 in, I don't know, I forget what it was, 1 in 128 chance of becoming a victim. I mean, that's not good, right?
Especially when it should be zero.
Well, according to Kamala, crime's down, and the Democrats, everything's down.
They're cherry picking all the numbers on that crap. They're leaving out all the cities where there's actually real crime. Still,
the blue cities.
Yep. I was just on Chris Salcido's show on Newsmax, and we talked about that. And what they're doing is the FBI only reported half of the violent crimes, half of them. And so what the Democrats are doing is they're saying, oh, look, crime is down. No, crime's not down. Reporting is down.
right.
Yeah,
Crime actually went up.
you can believe anything the FBI says.
Crime had actually gone up another 50 or so %.
Yeah.
So it's just unbelievable the way they can lie, and people, like Anthony says, stupid people believe them.
They do. Or they just hate Donald so much that they'll do anything not to have him as president.
Well, a lot of people will admit that, though.
I heard somebody say it.
Totally admit.
I'm willing to pay a little extra money, she said, as long as it's not
That's
Donald
all
Trump.
it was. Here, it's going to cost you an extra $100. Okay, here you go. That's not what we're talking about here.
Right.
We're talking about Venezuela emptying their prisons, and because they know the people will all come to the United States.
crime in Venezuela went down 114%.
Yeah.
They're all here.
They're all here.
They're here.
Taking over apartment
There's no
buildings.
crime in Venezuela anymore because all the prisons are emptied in America.
Yeah.
They've
People were
said it.
saying about talking, oh, well, they didn't do that much. They only took over a couple apartment buildings. Well, what? How does that work?
One too many.
Everybody, right. All the lies are in favor of the Democrats.
Yeah. Like Tim Waltz. He's been to China 35 times. I haven't been to New York City 35 times. That's 100 miles away.
Me neither.
What's China? How many miles away?
Around the world. Halfway
He said he
around
was
the
there
world.
100 and some,
He's there. He's been there 35 times.
35 times.
I haven't been to New York City
Yeah,
35
I know,
times, and
I know.
it's 100 miles away. I mean, seriously. What is he doing in China 35 times?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's got deals going there. He's got stuff going on.
Yeah. Communism. That's what he wants here.
Or little boys.
Little fat roly-poly.
Well, there was another story about
know.
him with the little boys.
I wouldn't doubt. Look at him.
What a freaking
That's the face of a pedo.
face. He doesn't-
Philo pedo.
and he didn't know how to load his shotgun either. Anyway,
He's a knucklehead.
Fat butterball.
He says I'm a knucklehead. That
He even
means
calls
you lie?
himself-
What does that mean?
what kind of presidential person, presidential, any kind of political dignitary or whatever would call themselves a knucklehead.
As an excuse for lying.
Or say, I know shooters. What does that even mean?
I'd become friends with shooters.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
Are your friends shooters at the range, or what are we talking about here, stupid?
Oh,
I open the window, smell the tires burn.
Smell those tires burn. Anyway, wow. On that note, thanks so much for watching the Loaded Mic on all our networks and Rumble and YouTube. And you can always catch the podcast if you're in the car. You can catch the podcast on just about any podcast platform out there. Happy Halloween, and I'm Dan Wass. And remember, the Second Amendment is not a privilege. It's your right.